Jazzcast Pros.
G'day and welcome to the Spiritual Shortcut.
Hello everyone and welcome.
So this is exciting. Today is our very first healing session where we are going to speak with Belle, who has very kindly volunteered to do a healing with us online. And we're going to share her session with you and take you through it step by step, which is, very exciting and something I think pretty different, isn't it, Kristy?
It is pretty different and it's been interesting putting all this together because we've not really had any sort of a script to go off, paving the way here. And I guess motivation-wise, this is a really good way for you and I to demystify what actually happens in a session.
That's right, yes.
So let's talk about a little bit how we've structured everything.
Yes, so what we've done is we have edited in certain sections that we have deemed to be most relevant, and the healing itself went for almost 2 hours. So we don't want to just play it and have you listening to it and not knowing exactly where it's going. There's a lot of pauses, there's a lot of introspection. So there's thinking, there's connecting to guides, and that doesn't play well on air, does it? So we have edited that out. We want to speak to the fact that Belle is very self-motivated. She wants to get to the root of the issue that she has here, and it's wonderful to work with someone like this because she knows she has work to do and she really wants to do it. Yeah. So that was a wonderful experience to connect with her in this session.
It's also worth mentioning Belle's actually a healer.
Yes.
So super common with everyone that's sitting in front of us. I think nearly everyone has been a healer of sorts. Yeah, and so today's session that we're going to listen to is all about Belle just getting out of her own way, which again is a very common healery type problem.
It is. It really, really is. And I, for one, can relate to it and the issues that she talks about. So, yeah, it's beautiful to see people unfolding in this healing work the way that Belle has done today.
Also worth giving all the listeners a heads up, bit of a sensitivity warning. We do talk about some pretty heavy stuff. There were certain sections that we omitted completely from the recording. But just, if you've got little kiddies around or you're in the car with, friends, maybe just have a feel into whether this is going to be appropriate to listen to right now.
What if you could rewrite your story and resolve issues at their root by clearing energetic blocks and create a life that truly lights you up?
If you're a woman seeking deeper fulfillment, healing and clarity, you've discovered the podcast to open you up to a whole new world, one that perhaps you never even knew existed.
Welcome to the Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kristy, and together we are the two psychic nobodies.
And today we're joined by Belle. Thank you so much for coming in with us today, Belle.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. It's gorgeous. Lovely to see your face. Okay, so we've had a little chat, and what we've come up with that Belle wants to do today is to identify and clear the blocks that are stopping her from reaching her full potential. We've had a bit of a chat about that, and Kristy has drawn some of our awesome conversation cards. So, Kristy, do you want to go through those?
Yeah, sure. So we've pulled, the first card is a crown card, so all connected into the higher self and sovereignty, Belle. Card 2 is the root card, so grounding and safety, and then the third card is an inverted masculine card. So lots dropping in already, and like that new container wants to come in, but there's just something here that we need to identify and clear first.
Just for a little bit of background, Belle, you are, surprise, surprise, a healer. We are the healer's healer.
Yeah,
and as
it's
healers.
nearly everyone that has sat in front of us so far doing these recorded podcasts have been healers.
Yeah, so that's kind of
amazing.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So could you give us just a really super brief background?
Yeah, I've been doing healing for quite a few years. I started out with Reiki and then Seishim or Sekhem, as they call it these days. And I was introduced to one tribe a few years ago. I followed them on Facebook for quite a while, the shamanic healing. My first foray into it was the ancestral healing, and that was a baptism by fire.
Oh, that was your first. I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
I had done nothing like that before, and it totally freaked me out, but I absolutely loved it. So then I did my 1 and 2 in March last year and 3 and 4 in November last year.
Ah,
So
how exciting.
Shamanic healing. So yeah, it's very exciting.
And you're in the middle of your mentorship then?
I am.
Fantastic.
And something is stopping me from moving forward. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, I feel really honoured that you're using this forum to do something like that, as major as it is, because if you can crack that, what a difference that's going to make for your shamanic healing work.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There's this big container that wants to come in, this beautiful big, like the minute I sort of even look at it, it's just glowing and divine. And then I come over here and it's like the guides are actually showing me imagery of being like underwater, right? So, and if I tune right into it, it's like hard to move, like it's hard to move forward. It's quite easy to move backwards, which, you know, kind of feels like I'm going with the current that way. Yeah, what else have I got over here? Lots of people behind me, like ancestral kind of lineage stuff behind me. What about you, Amanda? Do you want to have a little chat about what's dropped in for you?
Well, what's initially come up, which is the feminine wants to come in a lot more strongly. So, which is really interesting that you drew the inverted masculine card. So I feel like the feminine is having a lot of trouble from coming in because there's something in the masculine that needs to be cleared in order for the feminine to flourish. So it's probably related to what you're experiencing. I've got this feeling of it being crushed like a flower kind of thing. So there's no movement there. There's no ability to breathe as easily as you need to when you're doing this creative work that you need to be doing, and to be able to step into that role with the confidence that you want to have is, you know, you need to be able to stand up straight, expand your lungs, and breathe easily.
Lots and lots too, extra dropping it around that, Belle, like lots of fear, but the fear is so subtle and so subconscious. It's like, unless you were looking for it, it feels like you couldn't even point your finger to it, you know? And then I go down that little bit deeper, and what the guides are showing me is this tiny little speck of resentment that if I look at that right now, it almost comes up as like, this sounds terrible, but like an infection, right? And around that, all I can hear the guides saying and bringing the message through of this, I am different, but it's not like, you know, people call me weird all the time and I'm like, that's a compliment. But, you know, back in the day, it never used to be kind of thing. This is like, I'm actually like, this is a negative thing, a negative connotation to this label. Yeah, like how does that feel with you? Like, do you resonate to what we've just brought through?
Absolutely. I've always had a fear of men, and I don't know where it comes from. And it's like a fear of speaking up in front of men, a fear of being judged by men, a fear of even being looked at by men. I've always, felt less than around the masculine energy.
Yeah, wow.
It's interesting, isn't it? If this is a massive lesson for you, then there's 4 sons is a huge path to go on to try and learn whatever it is and process that. I'm seeing the dark figure standing behind the men of the family from generation to generation, and it's like that entity jump kind of thing. Oh, what? I've got another light worker over here in this generation, so I'm just going to pop over into this male figure over here and make sure that light worker doesn't do what she's meant to be doing and
act through, this particular father figure.
I can see him like putting a coat on backwards and, using the arms and the head of that father figure and the male figure in this particular case and going, right, no, we need to do that. Because what's happening here is the dark is recognizing the light before it has a chance to truly get bright and shine, before the person holding it gets to a point in her life where she's like, oh, this is my calling, this is what I want to do. Because if it's happening when we're still children, that's the easiest, best time to be controlling the situation, because we don't have that sovereignty in our lives that we get when we're adults. And if we have it quashed within us energetically way before we're teenagers or adults, then we potentially can never get to that stage because we have no inkling that there's something there greater for us to step into. And there you go. That's that crown card, isn't it?
Yeah. And so what the guides are dropping in now, Belle, is your inner child, that little girl. And the vision that they're giving me is that she's like on the floor, she's crouched over, she's playing with something. It almost looks like a game of Knuckles or one of those old style games, but she's not really connected to the game because there's this, it's like a figure, but it's almost just like a shadow that is leering over the top of her, and she's looking up and she's absolutely petrified and looking back down and thinking, if I just busy myself, it will eventually go away. That's the energy around the little girl at the moment.
Yeah, and it's like, look, it's looking at me and I'm playing. Look, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the thing that you told me I should be doing, that kind of thing.
And it's a very big, empty, lonely space that they're showing me that she's in. Like there's not a single soul around her, and you can feel that confusion energy of like, I know it's there. I look up and, it's that swift move away. So it's hard to get a full read or a clear read on what it actually is. But it's that internal knowing that there is this thing hanging over my head at the moment.
When you were saying that there's no one in the room, I get the impression that it's almost like she's in a space where she's been isolated from others, so the rest of the family or whoever that might be, and there's an awareness in the family that she is there, but it's like, you know what, we don't talk about that because we don't want that negativity directed at us by discussing it. Yeah. So actually, it's better to just not rock the boat. And, it's that thing of don't say anything because everything's fine. And as soon as anyone says anything, the energy they get directed at them is, what is wrong with you? Everything was fine. Why are you making trouble?
It just very thick energy of separation around her as well.
Yeah. Belle, can you relate to that kind of energy?
Yeah. I remember when I was very little, like I don't have many memories of when I was young, but I remember an awful lady that used to look after me before I started school in like a preschool thing, and she would do horrible things to me. But it was like she used to tell me, I'd thrown a ball over a fence, not thinking that it belonged to us, thinking it belonged to the dog next door. She used to look after a heap of kids. And I remember her telling me that I was a liar, and she would hold my hands between her knees and tell me to stick my tongue out so that she could burn my tongue. But I was too scared to tell anybody. And I had obviously blocked that memory out, and it came back years and years and years later. But like my mum worked a few jobs. My dad was always away. I was always that quiet, shy kid who never said anything, and I got married very young. I moved out of a home where my dad basically wrapped me in cotton wool and protected me from the outside world, to a husband that would, I always thought he was protecting me, but he wasn't. He was actually covering up what he was doing behind my back. So, like, I got married and had my first baby at 19. So I was so naive. And, yeah, I just had always been lied to and always been sort of blocked off from other people. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was little growing up. I had a small group of friends in high school, but once I got married and had a baby, they all sort of disappeared.
What we can do is actually help the little girl feel a little bit safer. So what I'll get you to do, Belle, is just close down your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. And if you can imagine a place where you think that she would feel comfortable and safe, so that we can start to give her the opportunity to just feel a little bit more calm, so that you two can start to have a little bit of a conversation. So what we want to do is encourage her to step into this space. Now, Belle, is there anything that you can add to the space that she might like? For example, some toys to play with, maybe musical instruments to play, a blankie or a teddy bear, anything like that you think that she would just physically be able to hold, that's going to make her feel a little more calm and that she can focus on.
Yeah, I think she'd like a puppy.
Puppy's great.
Yeah, nice.
Something to cuddle.
Yeah.
But that's real, not toy.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that.
Something to draw her eyes down too. So I think a puppy is a really good idea, because I'm just watching her get very distracted by this shadow.
Yeah, she's a bit scared.
I think it's also the opportunity for her to have something that also needs protecting on the same level that she does, means that she's going to actually encapsulate that energy on behalf of the puppy and then absorb it herself. All right. So, Kristy, I think, a couple of minutes with the puppy, and then maybe time to see what Belle can do.
How's she doing, Belle?
Yeah, she's okay. She's just trying to teach it to sit at the moment.
Yeah, it just wants to play, doesn't it? I can feel it. But what a beautiful way to bring that energy of play into that space with her. Yeah. Okay. So have you approached her, Belle?
Not yet. She's
Yeah.
I felt that she was angry with me.
Okay.
Before I came, like when you were talking about her before, I thought she's really angry with me because I haven't been around for her.
Yep.
I've let her know I'm there, but she's a bit wary.
Yeah. Understandably, yeah.
Maybe if you offered her something like a dog toy for the puppy to play with, it's a shared interest.
Yep. Just giving her some dog treats so that she can reward the puppy for sitting.
Oh.
And showing her that, if once the puppy sits, she gives him a reward, and then he knows that, he's going to get something for it. And I don't want to use the word for being good, because, that's just so he gets rewarded for doing as she asks him to do.
Just like that positive exchange, isn't it?
And maybe Belle taking this opportunity to rewarding her verbally for teaching the puppy such a cool thing.
Yeah, it's telling her how clever she is.
Yeah.
Not everyone can teach puppies tricks like that so quickly.
That's right. And don't forget, she's you.
She's like happier now. She's like getting him to dance around. I told her that she's like magic.
No.
Teaching him to do that.
Beautiful.
I've sort of sat down with her and she's sitting on my lap and playing with the puppy.
Beautiful.
Showing me all the tricks that he can do now.
So do you think she'd be receptive, Belle, to hearing you put some words around why you haven't been around and just assuring her that you're here now and that you're not going anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you feel confident to do that, or would you like us to lead you?
Maybe if you got me started.
Mm-hmm. So maybe just trying to I know she's sitting on your lap, but just if you kind of crunch over a little bit and just make sure that you're really in her sights.
Yep.
And just feeling into that and just showing her that you're physically on the same level as her, making the effort to be here.
Yep.
And then we might start with just that acknowledgement of, I know that this is the first time that we've connected properly.
I know that this is the first time that we've connected properly.
But I'm here now. And I'm never going to leave you again. How's she feeling? How's she receiving that?
She's like, I've heard this before.
Yeah. And I'm getting this sense that anger that you were talking about before is starting to rise up.
It's like you always tell me you're going to do that, but you never do. You do it for a little while and then you go away again. Sorry that I've been that wishy-washy, flaky person, but I promise that I'm going to do a lot better and I'll show up for you and protect you.
Beautiful.
Make sure that you have everything that you need.
Belle, I feel that it might be worth pointing out to her that it's totally okay and understandable that she feels that way.
Yeah.
And you want her to be that honest with you.
It's totally okay for you to be upset with me. I understand it. And I want you to be honest with me when you're upset with me. I want to understand how I can be better for you.
I'm just letting her know that it's okay to feel angry too, that it's normal and natural.
It's okay for you to be angry. It's normal. It's natural for people to be angry, and you're allowed to be angry with me because I haven't been there for you and I know I haven't. But I promise I will be. I'll show up for you and I'll show up for me.
And it may even be worth pointing out to her that you haven't shown up for yourself either.
I haven't been showing up for me either. But I am being strong. I'm going to be strong and I'm getting stronger all the time. I'm going to be strong for you and I'm going to be strong for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I keep getting this feeling that she's wanting some sort of a deal, and when I tuned into it, it feels like she wants you to give her like a pinky promise. It's just super cute, right? Because she's only little, so we need to do something to show her that this time is going to be different, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
My granddaughter does that to me. Pinky promise now.
Oh, cute.
So I will pinky promise that I will always be here for you.
And I pinky promise that I'm going to be here for me too.
And I pinky promise that I'm going to be here for me too.
Big shift. Awesome.
Because at this stage, what you're doing is you're sitting with her and you're doing this, having this conversation, and you're working with us. And moving forward, you're going to have that support and grounding, which is the root card, now that I'm saying that, to be able to make that promise. It's not empty this time around. So you're going to, like part of the process today will be integration and how you can stand grounded and be rooted in those decisions that you want to make moving forward. Because she will feel it. If you're sitting here making this promise and there isn't the feeling going with it, that you can be sure that it is a solid, grounded promise, she's going to feel that too.
Yeah.
And the minute that pinky promise happened and that assurance that you were going to show up for yourself, it's like that massive shift of energy, right? So a huge softening in that container. Okay, so the guides are showing me like a golden thread that wants to be pulled. So I'm just going to tune in on that thread. And this thread, if I follow it back, Belinda, is connected into your high heart. So another beautiful consistency that we're seeing in our clients at the moment is that, we do all this work and the heart then gets to a stage where it wants to expand even more. And funnily enough, when I first discovered it, I was like, I've discovered a chakra, but apparently it's been around for a while. Amanda and I have had a good laugh about this. So it's this high heart chakra that wants to be birthed and wants to come on board for you. And again, this energy of like, look over here, no, look at me, listen to me kind of thing, and just ultimate confusion as to where to go and what to do. So I just want to check in there. And this is, Amanda, this is also those really high contracts, the birthright contracts also wanting to drop in as well. And this has changed over the course of working with people of late, Belle. We used to kind of dive in and break the actual contracts. Actually, Amanda, would you like to explain a little bit about that before we go any further so Belle has a really good understanding?
Yeah, sure, of course. When we come here on our soul's mission in this incarnation, we have a contract in place, which is to do with what our soul wants to do, and it is about being sovereign. So what it means to be sovereign, it is basically there's God and then there's the sovereign. So that's why they call a king and a queen sovereign, because what they're doing is they have implemented a person in that level. So we sit theoretically beneath the sovereign, beneath the king and queen. And, as years have progressed, they put more and more things, governments, all sorts of things, and they push us further and further away from God, which is ourselves, away from our true existence and identity. So we have these contracts in place, but what the dark has done, it has implemented contracts further down our lineage because people haven't realized that we have these divine contracts, which are our birthright, our blueprint DNA contracts that, are all about getting our mission done, getting our work done, living a lot longer, having beautiful, healthy lives, not being full of toxicity, not being poor, not having to work stressful jobs, all this kind of thing. So, there would be people who have potentially consciously agreed to these contracts and then pass them down the lineage. So, mother to daughter, father to son. And even though it's gotten to the point where no one has said to you, oh, this is the contract that I have entered into, now it's your turn to make a decision, it is unspoken. And we have picked it up, and the fact that we carry out the behaviors actually denotes an agreement to the contract. So rather than making a big palaver about trying to stop what's been happening and step into something new, we've realized that there's already an original contract. If you're married to somebody and you go off and marry someone else, the new one doesn't count, does it? Because you're already married. You didn't annul that or divorce from the person. So the newer version is just false and it doesn't exist. It doesn't work. So as soon as you are aware of it, you can go, I'm not doing this anymore. I want my original contract back. Thank you very much. So that's the kind of work we've been doing. And we still do say we break it and we dissolve it just to go through the motions of that energetic release. But what we're doing is just bringing up our original contract because it's always there and we can always step back into it anytime we like. We just don't realize that they exist.
Right.
And while we've been chatting about this, so it's these multi-layered container that I can see your inner teen in, where the overarching theme is that she should be feeling safe. She should be feeling safe in her container, her space, and it should be an appropriate container for her, right? If you think about it, that should be everybody's birthright.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if we start with that and do some statements, because I'm feeling like if we start that, then that shadowy energy will start to move and we can get underneath whatever else is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I also just want to say, while we're working with the inner teen, I'm getting this feeling that your little girl is kind of hanging off to the side and just watching. So it might be nice to just check in with her and set her up somewhere so that you can do this work with the inner teen. And then I'm feeling like towards the end, we can introduce them all together.
Okay.
How's she doing, Belle?
Yeah, I've sent her on a mission.
Oh, good. Yep.
To take the puppy for a run and so go and collect some flowers.
Beautiful.
To bring back for later.
Excellent.
So that we can, or have some time together later.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So we might I just want to check in here because the teen is looking a bit kind of stunned that she didn't even know that there was a little girl floating around. So that'll be really good once we finish here to get them together. And if she comes in with a puppy and a bunch of flowers, like what a beautiful greeting for them, you know?
Yeah.
So let's just start with some basic statements. And I want you to imagine, yourself sitting there. You've got your little girl. She's safe. She's got a job to do. She's got her puppy. She's going to be occupied and on task. And so I just want you to imagine that you're sitting off and we're in like a room. The guides are showing me this room. But once again, it might be a nice idea for you to visualize more of a comfortable space to do this work for you.
Yep.
And then gradually invite your teen in when she's feeling comfortable to do so. It's my birthright to feel safe.
It's my birthright to feel safe.
It's my birthright to have an appropriate container.
It's my birthright to have an appropriate container
for me.
For me.
It's my birthright.
It's my birthright.
To have an appropriate container.
To have an appropriate container.
For all parts of me.
For all parts of me.
I call back all parts of myself.
I call back all parts of myself.
From this lifetime.
From this lifetime.
And all others.
And all others.
I know.
I know.
That they are mine.
That they are mine.
And claim ownership over all parts of myself.
And claim ownership over all parts of myself.
It's safe now.
It's safe now.
For me to have all parts of myself.
For me to have all parts of myself.
In the one container.
In the one container.
The one container.
The one container.
That is specially suited to me.
That is specially suited to me.
Beautiful. Big shift there. We're calling back lots of that energy, Belle. So just focusing on your breath as all of these parts of you return, like we said, from this lifetime, from all other lifetimes, lots being called back from the lineage. Big reactivation of the crown going on too.
And a softening of the heart.
And just acknowledging again, this time to your inner teen, it is safe to be in this container.
It's safe to be in this container.
No one will ever take you out of your appropriate container again.
No one will ever take you out of your appropriate container again.
Yeah. And I can feel as that is being said to her, it's that similar kind of anger that was coming up for the little girl earlier. So we're just going to give her a moment. I'm just saying to her, Belle, it's safe to feel all of your emotions here.
It's safe to feel all of your emotions here.
It's a safe place to communicate all of your emotions here.
It's a safe place to communicate all of your emotions here.
Okay. And that knowing just starting to drop in for her. And just giving her a minute to process that. I'm just saying to her, I am the adult now.
I am the adult now.
And in fact, I am you.
And in fact, I am you.
And I'm just noticing that the little girl with the puppy out, she's just starting to come back. How do you feel, Belle, about introducing them all to each other now?
I think it'd be good, actually.
Yeah. She's still, I'm not going to say hesitant, but she looks a bit miffed about everything that's going on. And I think if we put a little bit of context around it for her, it's going to help her to understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you like us to lead this, or are you feeling confident to do so?
I'll get you to lead it if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Just turning to face her and just acknowledging that you had something to do, but that you're ready to have her back in the space.
Yeah. Just letting her know that I was just a little bit busy for a little bit, but thank you for collecting those flowers. They're so beautiful. And thank you for taking your puppy for a walk, because, look, he's so excited and he looks like he needs a bit of a rest now. So he can have a drink of water and a rest. And would you like to come in? Because I've got someone to meet you.
Beautiful. I can just see her over in the corner. She's found a blanket and everything and tucked it in. It's really beautiful to see that she's taken ownership over that special task.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in she comes. So just inviting her in a bit closer, and as she does so, just being aware of how she feels about approaching not just you, but your inner teen there as well. Is anything coming up for her?
She's looking at the inner teen just like with a bit of it's not hesitance, it's more like inquisitive.
Yeah.
Who she is and why she's there.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's wonderful that she feels comfortable enough to even want to know who's in the room. So that's great. And how's your inner teen going? She's obviously, seen her come in with the puppy and the flowers. How's she feeling?
She's just looking at her like, okay, like what's going on? Like, yeah, you know what teenagers are like.
I do, yeah.
Don't say much. She's sort of like just watching at the moment.
All right. So how do you feel, Belle, about doing a bit of an introduction?
Yeah. Just introducing, sort of getting down to the little girl's height and inches, just saying to her that this is the teenage you. And the teenage is sort of looking like, what? I said, this is you, this is the little girl you, and we're really all one.
Beautiful.
I'm the older you. She's the younger you, and we're all
Beautiful.
one.
Beautiful. And Belle, do you mind just putting some words around, maybe just starting with, I am you, I'm the adult version of you.
I am you. I'm the adult version of you.
I do the adult jobs.
I do the adult jobs.
I take the responsibility.
I take the responsibility.
And I'm not going anywhere. This is my job.
And I'm not going anywhere. This is my job.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So how have they received that?
They're good with that.
Yep.
High five going on.
Oh, beautiful. And we might just reassure them, what their jobs are in this space, like maybe put some words around that it's the little girl's job to play and it's the inner teen's job to explore and be curious about the world around her.
Mm-hmm. So it's your job as the little girl to play and have fun and just be happy and joyful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And it's your job as the teenager to be inquisitive and have an inquiring mind and just explore.
Yeah.
And see how far you can push the boundaries.
Yeah. And just say, I'm going to keep you safe while you do that.
And I'm going to keep you safe while you do that.
And just to the little girl, just saying, I'm going to keep you safe too.
I'm going to keep you safe too.
And I'm going to be just over here so you can always see me and talk to me if you need to.
And I'm going to be just over here where you can always see me and talk to me if you need to.
Beautiful. And how are they receiving that?
Yeah, they're good.
Beautiful. All right. So just hang tight there, Belle. Mm-hmm. Amanda, has anything else come up for you? I'm just going to have a scout around.
Only that I want to use the ownership that the little girl has taken the puppy on board with as an illustration to her and to the teenager. If there's any doubt about your commitment, that you are taking the same ownership. So if the little girl is capable of that with the puppy, then you as an adult are more than capable of doing that for yourself.
Yeah, beautiful. Because it was showing up as an open doorway. That's exactly what it is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start putting some statements around that, Amanda? Just leading that?
So, yeah, just talking to both of them and saying, you know how much you love your puppy.
You know how much you love your puppy.
And how much your puppy loves you.
And how much your puppy loves you.
That's how much I love you both.
That's how much I love you both.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
And who you are has made me who I am.
And who you are has made me who I am.
And I am so thankful for that.
And I'm so thankful for that.
So if you think they're open to it, I feel like maybe a hug would be appropriate at the moment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Group hug.
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And as that's happened, that's just sealed that whole container, Belle, and all of this beautiful divine energy dropping in. So I just want you to be fully present there with them and engaged. Mm-hmm. And the guides are showing me beautiful grounding energy coming in to like a recalibration of what you have been standing on. So all of that old energy shifting and all this beautiful new energy coming in, new direction energy coming in, beautiful unification energy coming in, lots of visual, like I want to say the energy of shamanic sight coming in, and that deep knowing that it went the way that it had to go. There was no other way other than the path that you'd walked, Belle. So the guide's just acknowledging your journey and just letting you know that it is what it is and it was for that higher purpose. And beautiful relief coming in. So just breathing into that relief energy. Big breath in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And as your shoulders are dropping, the little girl and the inner teen are also feeling that relief. And now that beautiful blending, the adult having the inner child and the inner teen integrated into her fully. And we're nearly there. The guides are suggesting that that's going to be part of the integration over the next couple of months. Beautiful, and everything opening up.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger, so I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
So reflecting on what we have just heard, what stands out most for me is that the guides really do know and bring through exactly what a client needs the most and in the way that they need to hear and experience it. Because, Belle's was a story where the imagery really represented the healing aspects she needed to recognize within herself. And I loved the way it flowed because it gave us the opportunity to really illustrate to her how best she can connect with her inner child and her inner teen. And that's moving forward as well, isn't it, Kristy?
Absolutely. And illustrate is a good word because even listening to that back, it was very much like a story.
Right, it was, yeah.
When we were talking about the puppy and the flowers, it reminded me a lot of the little golden books that I used to read when I was a little girl. Yeah.
So, Kristy, do you want to speak to the integration?
Yeah, sure. For this particular healing, the guides brought through a integration period of about 2 to 3 months, which is a little bit longer. And we are seeing that in a lot of the healing work we're doing now. It's really deep, like super deep work in the actual session. And then, I think we did one the other day that was about 6 months integration. It's really poignant to remember that it feels like a really long time, but it goes swiftly, and the time elapsing and like post healing is just as important, pretty much as the actual healing itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the process that we go through to learn how to strengthen those new muscles that we have discovered within the healing session. So it's like going to the gym. You can't go to one class and go, oh, I know how to do that now, and expect yourself to be completely changed. There are aspects of your life that will not change overnight. And we wouldn't have them change overnight because the body and the psyche can be well and truly shocked. And that, learning and growing and these sorts of healings, there's enough discomfort so far as I'm concerned in a lot of it. Yeah. So having that sort of shock come in is too much. We are humans. We are living in the 3D and we need to integrate it as best we can, and learning to process those changes at your own pace is super, super important, isn't it?
Yeah, and I always think of it like, your body is learning something completely new. So we need to give the brain in particular time to rewire, opening up those new pathways.
Yeah, 100%.
Spring cleaning? Forget waiting for the perfect season, because the best time to declutter is now. In this episode, we're breaking down why seasonal decluttering doesn't always work, how to let go of just-in-case thinking, and simple habits to keep clutter from creeping back in. Subscribe to Declutter Empress Radio on the Jazzcast Pros Network, available right here on the podcast player you're listening to right now. New episodes every last Tuesday of the month.
So, yeah, that's Belle. Thanks for listening. We really, really appreciate you popping in. And please follow our podcast, and please share it with all your friends that you think are possibly going to get something out of it. And if you're interested in knowing how to work with us, please check out the show notes, because we have a website, we have an Instagram and Facebook page, all the things. Mm-hmm. And of course, kudos to us for having a podcast.
And I just want to give Belle a big shout out. We're super grateful for your time, Belle, and being our first guinea pig of sorts.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.